Dr. M. P. Jayaraman is an assistant professor in mathematics in L.N. Government College, Poneri. He has specialized on geometric function theory. With 14 years of teaching experience, he has handled topics on probability and queuing theory, discrete mathematics, random process, and engineering mathematics. Being a recognized supervisor for guiding PhD and MS students of Anna University, he is the reviewer of the journal Computer Mathematics and Applications. He has also written books on discrete mathematics and has also published papers in 28 international publications, in 4 national publications, and has presented papers in 2 international and in 2 national conferences.
Welcome you all for UGC lecture series in mathematics. The aim of this session is to obtain solution for unconstrained optimization problem. For that, first we introduce the notion of general nonlinear programming problem. Then, with the help of some necessary and sufficient condition, we are going to solve such unconstrained optimization problem. First, let me introduce the notion of a nonlinear programming problem, simply called as NLPP. Let Z be a real valued function of n variable x1, x2, xn. So, Z equal to f of x1, x2, etc. xn. Let b1, b2, bm be the set of constant such that g1 of x1, x2, xn either less than or greater than or equal to b1, etc., etc. gm of x1, x2, xn either less than or greater than or equal to bm. So, these are called m set of constraints, where gi's are real valued function of n variables x1, x2, xn, and finally consider the constraints all xj greater than or equal to 0, j varies from 1 to n. So, a general nonlinear programming problem have z equal to some function of n variables and set of constraints and set of non-negative restriction. Here the n variable function f of x1, x2, etc. xn or some gi of x1, x2, xn or both are nonlinear. So, in an NLPP the objective function or some set of constraints or both are nonlinear, then the problem of determining the n tuple x1, x2, xn which makes z either maximum or minimum and satisfy equation 2 and 3 is called a general nonlinear programming problem. So, a general nonlinear programming problem has a objective function with set of constraints and non-negative restriction in which either the objective function or some set of constraints or both should be nonlinear. Now, the determinant form of NLPP can be written as follows. So, a NLPP is determining x transpose belongs to R power n so as to satisfies the objective function either maximum or minimum z equal to f of x subject to the constraints that gi of x is either less than or greater than or equal to bi's or bj's. Here I varies from 1 to n, j varies from 1 to m, and the condition each xi's should be greater than or equal to 0. So, a matrix form of NLPP is written as finding x transpose belongs to R power n, optimize the function z equal to f of x subject to the constraint gi of x either less than or greater than or equal to bj and xi greater than or equal to 0. Here either this objective function or some constraints or both are should be nonlinear. Then this problem is called as nonlinear programming problem. For example, if I write z equal to x1 squared minus x1 x2 subject to the constraints x1 plus x2 less than or equal to 2, it is a nonlinear programming problem where x1 x2 should be positive. Here the objective function is nonlinear, therefore, this is a NLPP. In this NLPP, if I consider the instead of this constraint if I write the constraint x1 squared x2 cube, then it is become non-linear, because here both objective function and constraints both are non-linear. Therefore, this is an example of non-linear programming problem. Now, our aim is to solve such a NLPP. First, we consider a NLPP without constraints. So, our LPP has only the objective function. How to solve such a LPP, that things we are going to discuss now. First, the necessary condition for a function to be optimum is this one. The necessary condition for a function x at a point x naught to have an extremum point is the partial derivative of a function with respect to x at that point x naught should be equal to 0. So, a necessary condition for x naught to be an extremum point of f of x is dou f at the point x naught, dou f by dou xi at the point x naught should be equal to 0. So, the next idea is sufficient conditions. A sufficient conditions for x naught to be an extremum point of f of x is the Hessian matrix, which we denoted as h of x naught and defined by the determinant of dou squared f by dou xi dou xj at a point x equal to x naught satisfies the following conditions. X equal to x naught is a maximum point if that Hessian matrix at a point x naught is negative definite. Then the x equal to x naught is minimum point if the Hessian matrix at the point x naught is positive definite. So, the sufficient condition for a function f of x to have an extremum at x naught is if the Hessian matrix is negative definite, that point is maximum point, then the Hessian matrix is positive definite, that point is minimum point. Now, let me explain the Hessian matrix in details. So, h of x naught for a function in terms of two variable, our Hessian matrix is this one. First one is dou squared f by dou x1 squared. The second term is dou squared f by dou x1 dou x2. Then here dou squared f by dou x2 dou x1, and this term is dou squared f by dou x2 squared. So, for a two variable function, the Hessian matrix is determinant dou squared f by dou x1 squared, dou squared f by dou x1 dou x2, dou squared f by dou x2 dou x1, and dou squared f by dou x2 squared. With this necessary and sufficient condition, now we are interested in finding the solution of unconstrained optimization problem. The first one is a function of one variable f of x is said to have a local or relative maximum at x equal to x naught if f double prime of x naught is less than 0. So, the f double prime of x naught less than 0, then function has maximum at the point x equal to x naught. A local minimum at x equal to x naught if f double prime of x naught is strictly greater than 0. Suppose f double prime of x naught equal to 0, then f of x is neither maximum nor minimum. In such a case, we have to compute the higher order derivative for further investigation. When a function f consisting more than one variables, two variables, three variables, etc., to solve such unconstrained problem, first we have to form a Hessian matrix to decide about the nature of f of x. If f of x has relative maximum at x equal to x naught, if h of x naught is negative definite. If h of x naught is positive definite, then f of x has relative minimum at x equal to x naught. The third case, if there exists a point of inflection at x equal to x naught, if h of x naught is indefinite. So, if h of x naught is indefinite, then the function has neither maximum nor minimum. In such a case, we have point of inflection. For such a case, we need higher derivatives. With this idea, now we try to solve some problem. The first problem is determine the relative maximum and relative minimum values of the function f of x equal to 12 x power 5, 45 minus 45 x power 4 plus 40 x cube plus 5. So, to find the relative maximum and minimum, first let us find the first derivative of x. Since the function has only one variable, now we are interested in finding the first derivative of this function with respect to x, which we have 60 into x power 4 minus 3 x cube plus 2 x squared, which we can rewrite it as 60 into x squared minus 3x plus 2. Now, by factorizing this, we have 60 x squared into x minus 1 into x minus 2. Now, f dash of x equal to 0 implies that x value is 0, 1 and 2. So, from this equation, by equating f dash of x equal to 0, we get the values as x equal to 0, 1 and 2. Now, we will find f double dash of x, f double prime of x. F double prime of x equal to 60 into 4 x cube minus 9 x squared plus 4 x. Now, we will take at a point x equal to 1. At a point x equal to 1, our f double dash of x takes the value as 60 into 4 into 1 cube 4 minus 9 into 1 square minus 9 plus 4 into 1 4. At the point x equal to 1, f double dash of x takes the value minus 60, which is less than 0. Therefore, our function f takes the maximum value at x equal to 1. Now, at a point x equal to 2, our f double dash of x gives the value as 240. By taking x equal to 2 here, we will get f double dash of x equal to 240, which is positive, which is greater than 0, which gives us f has minimum value at x equal to 2. Now, at a point x equal to 0, our f double dash of x value is, if we take x equal to 0 here, f double dash of x takes the value 0. So, in order to investigate the maximum or minimum at the point x equal to 0, since f double dash of x takes the value 0, we go for the higher derivative. Therefore, we are interested in finding f triple dash of x, which gives us f triple dash of x is 60 into 12 x cube x squared minus 18 x plus 4. Now, the f triple dash of it at x equal to 0 gives us the value 240, which is not equal to 0. Therefore, f triple dash of x value is non-zero at x equal to 0. Therefore, the point x equal to 0 is point of inflection. Therefore, for this function at a point x equal to 1, the function takes the maximum value. The maximum value of the function at x equal to 1 is 12. At the point x equal to 2, this function takes the minimum value. The minimum value of z or minimum value of the function f of x is minus 11. Now, at the point x equal to 0, the point x equal to 0 is called inflection point, because here the function is neither maximum nor minimum. So, the point x equal to 0 is the point of inflection. Let us have a break. Welcome back. Before break, we discussed about general nonlinear programming problem and unconstrained optimization problem. The next problem is find the relative maximum and relative minimum, if any, of the function f of x equal to x1 plus 2x2 plus x1 into x2 minus x1 squared minus x2 squared. So, this is a function in terms of two variable x1, x2. Now, to obtain the necessary and sufficient condition for this function, first we try to find the partial derivative of f with respect to x1. So, dou f by dou x1, which we have dou f by dou x1 is 1 and this term will vanish, and for this term it is x2 and for this term it is 2x1. Then immediately we will find dou f by dou x1 squared, which we have this term vanish and this term vanish. For this term we have minus 2. The next one idea is we will find dou f by dou x2. So, partial derivative of this function with respect to x2, which gives us 2 plus x1 minus 2x2. Now, dou squared f by dou x2 squared, which this term vanish and this term vanish. For this term we are getting minus 2. So, in order to obtain relative maximum and minimum, since the function in terms of two variables is given, first we will find the partial derivative with respect to x1, partial derivative of f with respect to x2, and one more derivative dou squared f by dou x1 squared, dou squared f by dou x2 squared. Now, necessary condition is we have to equate dou f by dou x1 equal to 0. So, dou f by dou x1 equal to 0, and the next condition is dou f by dou x2 equal to 0. So, the necessary condition for obtaining extremum value is dou f by dou x1 equal to 0 and dou f by dou x2 equal to 0. Now, dou f by dou x1 equal to 0 gives us 1 plus x2 minus 2x1 equal to 0, and dou f by dou x2 equal to 0 gives us 2 plus x1 minus 2x2 equal to 0. Now, by solving these two equation 1 and equation 2, we will get the value of x1, x2. Now, by solving these two equation, we get our value of x1 as 4 by 3 and x2 as 5 by 3. Now, solving this equation is quite simple. We rewrite this equation as 2x1 minus x2 equal to 1 and minus x1 plus 2x2 equal to 2. Now, by solving these two equations, we will get the value of x1 equal to 4 by 3 and x2 equal to 5 by 3. Now, the sufficient condition is we have to form the Hessian matrix H of x naught. Now, the Hessian matrix for this problem is this one, dou squared f by dou x1 squared, dou squared f by dou x1 dou x2, and dou squared f by dou x2 dou x1, dou squared f by dou x2 squared. So, just now we got these 4 values. Now, dou squared f by dou x1 is minus 2 and dou squared f by dou x1 dou x2 as 1, dou squared f by dou x2 dou x1 as 1 and dou squared f by dou x2 is minus 2. So, the Hessian matrix for this function is minus 2 1 1 2. Now, to estimate the maximum or minimum for this function, we will find the determinant value of the principal minor. The first principal minor we name it as determinant of a1 is, which is minus determinant of minus 2, which is minus 2. The next minor is we call it as a2. So, determinant of a2 is the determinant value of minus 2 1 minus 2, which we have 4 minus 1 3. So, for this Hessian matrix, we will find the determinant value of the principal minor. The first determinant value is minus 2, the second determinant value is 3. Here the value of determinant of minors a1 and a2 is alternating, which is minus 1 and 3. Therefore, the Hessian corresponding Hessian matrix is negative definite. Since the determinant value of the principal minors are alternating, minus 2 and 3 signs are alternating, the corresponding Hessian matrix is negative definite. since the matrix is negative definite, our function f has the maximum value, relative maximum value at the point x equal to 4 by 3 and 5 by 3. So, this function has maximum value at a point x1 equal to 4 by 3 and x2 equal to 5 by 3. The third problem is find the relative maximum and relative minimum if any of the function f of x equal to x1 plus 2x3 plus x2 x3 minus x1 square minus x2 square minus x3 square. So, our function in terms of 3 variable x1, x2, x3. Now, the necessary condition for this function to have maximum and minimum value is dou f by dou x1 should be equal to 0. So, we have dou f by dou x1 is 1 minus 2 x1 equal to 0. Then dou f by dou x2 equal to 0. For that we have partial differentiation of this function with respect to x2, we have x3 minus 2 x2 equal to 0. Then dou f by dou x3 equal to 0, which gives us dou f by dou x3 is 2 plus x2 minus 2 x3 equal to 0. So, the necessary condition to obtain maximum and minimum for this function is dou f by dou x1 equal to 0, dou f by dou x2 equal to 0, dou f by dou x3 equal to 0. So, dou f by dou x1 equal to 0 gives us 1 minus 2 x1 equal to 0, which gives us x1 value equal to 1 by 2. Now, from the second equation x3 minus 2 x2 equal to 0, we have x3 equal to 2 x2. Now, by making use of x3 equal to 2 x2 in this equation becomes 2 plus x2. Instead of x3 I will substitute 2 x2, therefore, it will become minus 4 x2 equal to 0. So, we have 2 minus 3 x2 equal to 0, which gives us x2 value is 2 by 3. With that x2 equal to 2 by 3, we will get x3 value which is 4 by 3. So, for this problem the necessary condition dou f by dou xi, I varies from 1 to 3, gives us x1 value is 1 by 2, x2 is 2 by 3, x3 is 4 by 3. So, the point is 1 by 2, 2 by 3 and 4 by 3. Now, we go for the sufficient conditions. The sufficient condition is we have to consider the border Hessian matrix, the Hessian matrix. Now, since the function in terms of 3 variable, our Hessian matrix is a 3 cross 3 Hessian matrix, which is dou squared f by dou x1 squared and dou squared f by dou x1 dou x2, dou squared f by dou x1 dou x3. The second one is dou squared f by dou x2 dou x1, dou squared f by dou x2 square, dou squared f by dou x2 dou x3, and the third row is dou squared f by dou x3 dou x1, dou squared f by dou x3 dou x2 and dou squared f by dou x3 square. For the function in terms of 3 variable, this is our border Hessian matrix. So, with the help of this function, we can find all partial derivative. The value of those things is minus 2, 0, 0, 0, minus 2, 1, 0, 1, minus 2. So, for this function, the Hessian matrix takes this value minus 2, 0, 0, 0, minus 2, 1, 0, 1, minus 2. Now, for this Hessian matrix, we will find the determinant value of the principal minor. So, for this principal diagonal, we will find the determinant value of the principal minor. For the first one, we name it as a1. So, determinant of a1 is minus 2. Now, the determinant of a2 is 4 and the determinant of a3 is minus 6. So, for the Hessian matrix, we will find the determinant value of the principal minor. The value of those things is minus 2, 4, minus 6. Here the values are alternating, the first value minus 2, then plus 4 and minus 6. Since the values are alternating, the given border Hessian matrix is negative definite. This matrix H of x naught is negative definite. Since the border Hessian matrix is negative definite, the corresponding function f takes the maximum value. Therefore, the function takes the maximum value at the point 1 by 2, 2 by 3 and 4 by 3. Let me recap of the points. A nonlinear programming problem is optimizing z equal to f of x subject to the constraint g I of x either less than or greater than or equal to b I and x greater than 0. Here either f of x or some g I of x or both are nonlinear. Then such a problem is called nonlinear programming problem. The necessary condition for x naught to be an extremum is the partial derivative of f with respect to x I at a point x naught equal to 0. Then the sufficient condition for x naught to be an extremum point of f of x is the Hessian matrix satisfies the following condition: x equal to x naught is maximum point if h of x naught is negative definite, and if x equal to x naught is a minimum point if h of x naught is positive definite. The question is, determine the maximum and minimum of the following function: f of x equal to minus x1 squared minus 2x2 squared minus x1 squared minus 2x1 x2, and the second problem is f of x equal to x1 x2 plus 10x1 minus x1 squared minus x2 squared minus x3 squared. Thank you.